Hi, this is Robin from Robin's Flower Pot. I'd like to show you how to plant a tree today. Today we're going to plant Suger canadensis pendula. It's a Canadian weeping hemlock. The first thing you want to do is take your plant out of the pot. This one, I'm lucky, is coming right out. If it doesn't, you may have to cut your pot off. Then you want to have a bucket of water ready to set your root ball in, so it can soak up some water and make sure that root ball is nice and damp before you plant it. I've already pre-dug my hole. I made my hole twice the size of the pot of the root ball. It's firm on the bottom, so when I plant my tree won't settle and end up being planted too deeply. So that's all ready. The next step is to take the soil that you dug out and amend it with some compost. And I like mixing my compost right in with the soil. I use Living Acres compost, which is a high quality compost, and that's important to use, a high quality compost when you're planting a tree. Trees are expensive and shrubs are, so it's important to use good quality soil so you get your shrub or tree off to a good start. So I'm going to incorporate that compost right into the soil. By doing this, it helps build that soil that much quicker, and it makes the compost readily available, the nutrients from that compost, to the plant roots. You can do this with a spade or shovel if you want. I just prefer to use my hands. So I've got that all mixed in nice, so when I get ready to backfill my hole with that, it's all ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to grab my tree that's been soaking for 10 to 15 minutes. This tree I didn't soak because it was plenty wet. And then I'm going to break up these roots. You see how these roots are wrapping? It's important that they don't do that when you plant them in the ground, because eventually over time, it may take a few years, they could choke your tree. So you just take your fingers. This tree isn't overly root bound, so it's really easy to get those roots broken up. If your tree was really root bound, you may have to use a utility knife to score your root ball in 3 to 4 places, and then work your fingers and get those roots loosened up. Also, by wetting your root ball first, it makes it easier for your roots to come apart. Okay, so that's all nice. So now I'm going to plant it, put it in my hole, and I've already tested my hole to make sure it's the right depth. Make sure your tree is straight where you like it, and then take your soil and take this and put it around my root ball. And that has all that great compost already mixed in there with it. After I fill that about half full, I'm going to take my hose and I'm going to fill that right up with water. It's so important to make sure that you get this well watered to start with. Okay, I'm going to grab some more soil and backfill it the rest of the way. I like to put my soil either in a wheelbarrow or a wagon like this, and then it's easier to clean up afterwards. You don't have that mess all over your lawn or an extra pile of soil somewhere you don't know what to do with. It's really helpful to do it that way. And if you see, I take my hand and I just go like this. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can use a trowel. You can wear gloves. And that helps get the air pockets out around that root ball. So I backfilled the tree. The soil's all around the tree now. I'm giving it one more drink of water here, so I can work the rest of the air pockets out. I'm going to take my spade and just go in and around and make sure that soil's down in and around the root ball. Don't go stepping around your tree or shrub or whatever you're planting. All that does is pack your soil and takes out all the air pockets, and you don't want to do that. That's not recommended. So just take your spade and work it around in that fresh soil. One more little drink. And that will take care of the watering for the first day. To continue watering the tree needs to be watered at least once a week unless you receive 1 inch of rain a week. It's important that you water this tree regular for a year to make sure it has a well-established root system. One way that I do, which I find is really easy, to take like a 5-gallon bucket or container, put a hole near the bottom, an 8-penny nail size, something like that. We've used just our scissors to make the hole in this one. Punctured it a little bit. Fill it up and set it so it's going to trickle right on to that root ball. And you'll fill it up depending on the weather. I can't tell you only do it once a week. You may need to do it 2 or 3 times a week if it's 90 degrees out. So that's a judgment call. So just make sure you keep that watered. The other important step in planting a tree is mulching it properly. Here we have some Coast of Maine enriching mulch with seaweed in it. So you're not only mulching your tree, you're feeding it a little bit. I really like this stuff. It's nice stuff. I use it quite a bit in my own gardens. So you want to, excuse me, dump them out. It's important not to put the mulch around right up against the trunk of the tree. Over time, that mulch can build up around that trunk and suffocate your tree. So you just want to keep it away from the trunk and put it all around the base of the tree, but not right up next to the trunk. So now you have a tree that's going to get a little bit of food from that seaweed enriching mulch, but not too much. Too much fertilizer the first year will cause a lot of top growth and your root system will be weak. You want a strong root system. So you wait till the second year to start feeding. So next spring you can come out with some Polytone, which is an organic product from Escomer, which is excellent, and go with the recommended rates on the bag and sprinkle that, incorporate it around the tree. Polytone is great for evergreens, azaleas, rhododendrons, or if you planted fruit trees or ornamental trees, Tree Tone is an excellent product. They're both organic products and top quality. So remember, when you're planting a tree, a good quality compost, a nice bark mulch around that's local and not imported in, that could be full of some unknown insects, and water.